Stealth.
These guys in the trench coats, they don't seem to have any interest in, what's going on around them. They're just kind of like on a focused path.
Why?
This be with Dex?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Fuck. Why didn't I invest in stealth?
Because you fly the ship.
Yeah.
So Elizabeth, you can see as you walk by, you don't see Gus anywhere.
React.
But yeah, you see Bowie just kind of like trip out across the street and like into a pile of garbage on the side.
A trash can that rolls down.
and then I like try to hide behind a dumpster, but my head's sticking there.
I like look at him like, what are you doing?
I'm just standing behind a corner, an entire wall, and what? There's a wall here. Why are you over there?
All right, so the two trench coat men or whatever kind of stop, and one of them puts his foot up and stops the garbage can as it's rolling towards him with his foot, and he picks it up slowly,
it rolls towards
sets it back,
him.
on the side of the seat or on the side of the street, and puts it up kind of nicely. Puts the lid back on it. He looks over at Bowie, and he's like, "I suggest you come with us, sir."
Don't mind if I do.
I go like, this is the worst rescue ever.
Yeah. I failed. I was...
So how did you go about getting a job?
Relative success.
That's good. It's always good to know somebody was productive. Me, I got manhandled as soon as I got off the ship.
But you don't have an STD.
I'm not telling him that.
Okay.
So the two guys, they kind of put you and Elizabeth together in front of them. They start walking the street. The one of them does stop long enough to kind of turn around, and he looks around behind him and make sure like nobody's following or whatever. He doesn't notice you, Gus. And then he turns back around, and you can see he like walks at a brisker pace to catch back up. So it's basically just to have your two guys in the trench coats, and then in front of them is both Elizabeth and Bowie walking ahead. Are you going to continue to follow him on down?
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of walk behind him and keep an eye out to the sides for place that in case I need to teleport somewhere to get out of the way quick.
Okay. As you're going along, Gus, Bowie and Elizabeth, you don't really notice. You've been here a few times, Bowie, so you kind of have an idea of where you're headed. You're headed down to like the more business and banking and Wall Street sort of section of the city. And Elizabeth, obviously, you know where you're headed. As you guys are moving along, you don't really see anything abnormal. You can hear like every now and then gunshots and people screaming in like a sports arena or something going on way behind you every now and then. Gus, as you're moving along, every now and then you can see another one of these men in the black trench coats. Like as you pass by a window, he might be sitting and standing in the window watching you go by. Down on a side alleyway where you have like the homeless people sitting, every now and then there'll be one of these guys in a black trench coat kind of sitting with them, just watching. You probably see a good dozen of them or so, all in different spots. Up on a rooftop, you can see one looking down, watching as you go by.
Wait, they see Gus?
They don't seem to pay any attention to him. So, he's hiding, but he's seeing them as he goes by.
Oh, okay.
Elizabeth, where the hell are we going?
I thought Bowie knows where we're going.
I know generally where we're going, but I don't know who the hell these guys are or where they're specifically taking us.
Well, they're not lawmen per se, and I had assumed they had shown up for you. Actually, that's a good question. Excuse me, and I tap the one in front of us on the shoulder, trying to get his attention. I'm still walking, but I'm like, as much as I love this, rigorous exercise.
He just comes to a complete stop in front of you and turns around.
Oh, geez, that takes me by surprise. And I may accidentally bump into him. It's like, geez. As much as I enjoy this rigorous exercise, exactly where are we going? We've had to take so many side streets and pick someone up along the way.
He says, "We have requested your assistance by Mr. Pitfield. He's down at the warehouse."
Mr. Pitfield? Do I know a Mr. Pitfield? Hang on a minute. I'm going to be Hassan. No, Hassan's name isn't Pitfield. I'm rolling knowledge. Criminal?
Yeah, you won't even need to know the... Well...
Would
okay, you know Mr. Pitfield. He is a very powerful politician here. It's assumed that he's a part of the Egyptian mafia that supposedly runs this place.
Oh,
you
hell.
don't... I mean, you know the basics of who he is by the mass media and by the, the people in general. You could roll criminal if you want to know if you know anything beyond that.
I'm going to roll criminal for the fact that I'm hoping we're not going to talk about an offer we cannot refuse. Do you want to assist me, Bowie, or?
Yeah.
Okay. You roll first, and
Persuasion?
No, it's culture criminal.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
Oh my god! I just realized all the criminals are here.
Yep. Perfect. Would it be intelligence?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. You can use charisma if you wanted to in this case too. Either one, whichever one you want.
I fail.
All right.
Good thing I didn't roll.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah, we don't know shit about this guy.
We just know what we've never met him. We just know what we hear on the TV.
So, as far as what you do know, he, like I said, he's a very powerful politician. He's kind of like there is a mayor to this city, but he kind of acts as the mayor. He's the one that actually has all the pull. It's rumored that he's the leader of this Egyptian mafia. He's huge into various casinos that he owns and runs that would obviously have a lot of illegal activities on the backside.
Well, of course, he's a politician.
Let's see. He's across the news and stuff all the time, so you know that he's like a very big, powerful-looking man, bald head. He has red sunglasses that he always wears. He's never seen without the sunglasses, actually. Every now and then he'll wear like a jogging suit, like a red jogging suit, but most of the time he's in a very pristine type of tuxedo. Well, not tuxedo, but like a very businessy suit, but he always has a red tie on that matches his red sunglasses. But yeah, beyond that, you just know the basic rumors that he kind of controls everything behind the scenes. So,
well, if we not, I guess. Well, there we go. We know where we're going to meet.
We know that we're not dealing with somebody legitimate.
He is sort of legitimate, and he's sort of not, of course. Awesome. All right. Well, he told me what I wanted to know, and Bowie knows now. So
yeah, he kind of looks at you both, and he's thinking. He's like, this man you're talking to. He's like, "There's another one of your crew. Where is he?"
You mean father? You mean the
crazy one?
And he says, "No, we already have him. There's another one."
I don't believe another one.
And he flips over his compad. He's going through, and then he shows you a picture of Gus. He's like, "I believe his name is Gustafin Northstar."
I start laughing. His name's Gustafin.
I just start cracking up.
It's like,
oh shit, that's his name?
Do we actually not know Gus's actual name? Actually, I think
I wouldn't know his full name.
I said his name was Gus, maybe not his last name.
Yeah, you've only told us your name is Gus. Okay. I have
you
never.
Guys are laughing, these two men kind of staring at you. They're like, "I do not believe this is funny. Do you know where he is?"
I can honestly say I have not seen him.
He kind of holds his hands out towards you, like puts his hand up like this. He says, "Touch my palm."
As a doctor, I do not subscribe to physical contact without reason.
He says, "Ma'am, I suggest you touch my palm."
You are so. I say under my breath, you are so lucky. I got tested today. And I tap him on the hand,
right,
sort of like
feel like a little jolt of like a spark kind of go through you. It's nothing. It doesn't hurt or anything like that, but it's kind of like when somebody scrubs their feet across a carpet and then shocks you. And he kind of stares at you a moment. He's like, "She tells the truth." And he looks over at Bowie. He says, "Where is Gustafson Northstar?"
I don't know. At this moment, I don't know, at least.
He says, but you must have known.
Huh?
Huh? And he kind of says,
Must have known him?
He holds up his hand. He's like, please touch my hand, sir.
All right. I touch it.
All right. He says,
technically doesn't know where Gus is right now.
I said at this moment.
Yeah.
Yep. So he kind of stares at you for a few minutes. He says, he looks at his partner and he shakes his head. He's like, he does not know where he is right now. They both kind of turn around and just start walking again.
All right. I keep following.
I really hope I didn't. I was like, what the hell was that? I'm like talking to you. I'm like, did you get electrocuted too? Or was that just me? Because if they turn out to be robots, I'm going to be pissed.
Oh, they're probably robots.
Fuck, is everyone a robot? Is Gustafson a robot?
You can see one of them turns just enough to kind of look back and he says, we are not robots, sir. And then he turns and, keeps walking.
Oh, well, that's good. It's good to know that someone can just touch my hand and know if I'm lying or not.
Every time we say they turn around, I just imagine them swiveling at the waist, like their feet are still facing forward.
It just turns around.
Like I imagine they're human, they're organic, but they just mannerisms. The fact that they all look the same makes us think they're machines.
Yeah, Gus, as you were going along, you'd notice that every one of them looks exactly like the other one. They're all completely identical. What is I'm total blank for words. What's a lie detector machine called, or like the test?
A polygraph.
Polygraph.
So as you guys are walking, one of them kind of speaks up. He's like, "That was our electronic polygraph system. It invades your nanodes. We can tell what you're thinking and when you're lying. We'll peruse this further when you get back to the warehouse. Just follow us."
All right.
Wait a minute.
Polygraphs aren't admissible in court, right? I say sarcastically.
And he says, "Of course, sir." So, eventually they kind of go through the city. You can see when you hit the big businessy sort of section in the city, it's basically just tons of people in business suits and stuff. This area doesn't look like it's any kind of resort sort of section of the town or the city. You can see CNC banking billboards plastered basically everywhere around in this area, along with like law firms and different judicial services and all sorts of those sort of things. They take you through the few different blocks, and then they stop at this great big warehouse. It kind of looks a little bit run down compared to all the other buildings in this section where you're at. And one steps forward and opens up like a big overhead doors, and he walks in. They're like, "Please follow us."
We don't have much of a choice, do we?
I was just about to say that as I follow you in.
So as you come in, it's most of the building itself is kind of in shadows and dark, but right in the center of the room, there's like a great big light over top. It kind of hangs down like a pendant light. You can feel the heat of it coming off as you get a little bit closer. And sitting down below it, there's just a single table. There's 2 seats set up. And then at the far end of the table, there's another chair with this large man. You recognize him as Mr. Pitfield almost immediately. Sitting and waiting. He kind of has his hands crossed and he's waiting for you to walk in, just kind of staring at you.
How do you spell his name? Pitfield?
Yep.
Okay, I'm just asking because I keep track of these people.
God damn, you're Mr. Pitfield, aren't you? Saw you on the TV. Sit down.
Oh yeah, thanks. Don't offer the lady the chair.
No, there's another chair for you.
On the other end of the table.
Yeah, they're like opposite. So you have your chair.
Yeah,
there's one of him
so you
and two at the other
and
end.
He's sitting in one of them.
And he nods. He's like, I am. He's like, please have a seat.
I look around. I'm like, you're sitting in one chair. He's sitting in another chair.
The chair right next to me.
Yeah, and he kind of stares. He's like, there's a chair right there, ma'am. Sit down.
Oh, I didn't know there was a second chair. Oh, yes. I sit down.
He just stands there for a few seconds, sits there for a second, just staring.
All right, well, sent your robots after us.
He says,
They're not robots, Bowie.
Yeah, behind him, you can hear one of them, these guys. He says, we are not robots, sir.
We're not robots. We have parents.
Anyway.
He's standing there for a few seconds, very quiet. He's like, there's a large bounty on your head. And he looks down at like a piece of paper in front of him, looks back up. 100,000 credits on you, Bowie. 10,000 for this wench over here. It's like, I can do a lot with 100,000.
That's Dr. Wench? I didn't spend 8 years of medical school just to be called Wench.
Yeah, I just say, oh, damn, 100,000?
I'm only worth 10,000? Fuck, I would have thought, selling cybernetics to children would have bumped that up a bit more.
Says you have to be in the business longer than that. You see, one of these days, had you not followed the path you did, you could have been like me. But until then, he kind of looks down for a few minutes. He's like, well, I could probably get your names cleared off this, well, at least for a little while. If you do something for me.
Of course.
I just kind of like nudge her under the table, like, shut up.
He he flips through some papers in front of him. He kind of stacks them, and he holds up one, and it has a picture of Yasmin on it. He said, I seen you talking to this lady today. You know her?
Yeah, I used to run booze for her.
She's like, well, her and some of her clientele have been raiding my warehouses lately. Been stealing some of my goods. He says, I knew your father well, Bowie. We had some, similar clients and similar interests. Went golfing a few times. He says, he sent me some goods about a month ago. And your friend here seems to have took our warehouse, and she has something that is mine. Something from your father. You might recognize it. And he flips through and he holds up another piece of paper, and you can see it looks like a cybernetic arm almost, but in between like the cybernetics of it or whatever, you can see like pulsing little blue orbs wherever there would be at a joint. So like in all the knuckle joints, there's a little blue orb that's pulsing in the elbow and in the shoulder. He says, your brother was working for this on quite a long time. Do you recognize it?
I know it's not directed at me, but I'm going to roll technology medical on the pretense to understand how that augmentation is different from a standard cybernetic arm.
It's like, I would know what this is, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, fine.
Yeah, so what is so special about this cybernetic arm?
Okay, it can... It can awaken dormant psionic energy in people who aren't actually psionic.
Okay.
So, like, it will allow them to use, like, telekinesis, almost like Mage Hand in D&D.
Okay.
Are you telling me that is a cerebral booster in that cybernetic augment? I'm, like, whispering this to you. I'm like,
I just nod slightly.
Mage Hand. There we go. That's what he said.
Does that exist in this game?
Well, that's how I remember it anyway. And he nods. He's like, it is. He's like, I had my daughter equipped with this a few weeks ago. It works fantastic. He says, your brother's, he's quite the engineer.
Damn straight.
He says,
awkward.
Says, so, what's this deal about your parents? Are they really dead?
Apparently.
He's like,
I was in prison when it happened.
He's like, you don't look like the type of guy that would kill your parents. From what I heard, you had a falling out with them, but you look like a good man.
God, they just tell their entire family business to everybody, don't they?
Apparently. I mean, he went to golf. He golfed with my dad.
He was schmoozing over golf, 9 holes.
Yeah, my son just disowned us and got his own stupid freight company. Oh, he's in jail, by the way. I hope nothing that bad happens to him.
Hope nothing bad happens to us while he's in jail.
His brothers took it pretty hard.
But he's
so I just kind of stare at him while he talks to me.
All right. So he's kind of quiet for me, and he's like, you have some powerful men after you. I can get them off your tail for a little while. I can't promise a long time. but at least give you long enough to get out of here and find somewhere safe and go from there. What do you say?
Could you also convince him to give us money to get off the planet? I whispered to Bowie.
Well, we're going to need some money for fuel to get off planet. Can you be accommodating in that regard?
Most certainly.
All right.
He says,
now, when you say she stole it, what do you mean by that?
He says,
like, snuck in with a team and like took it in the night?
Says, well, something like that. You see, and he goes like this over the side, and you see like the warehouse lights clip on down through the thing. There's crates kind of scattered all over. A lot of them been busted open, and kind of like stuff's been thrown apart. And he says, this happened 3 nights ago. And you can see like all the disarray of everything that's in there. He says, we had the cybernetics that were stolen, and he kind of taps his board again, or his papers again, you know, like the arm your brother built. He said, we also had some drugs stolen. Now, from what I hear, you don't like running illegals, but I'm sure you could make an exception, right?
I kind of like look down for a second. Depends on the drugs.
He says, well...
like, if it's like space weed, like, yeah, like, whatever. But if it's something...
medicinal. It's okay.
If it's like space heroin...
Space heroin.
And he nods, he's like, well, you don't have to know the details of the drug. You know, you don't have to deal with it. It'll be all bagged up and crated. I can give you the destination drop-off. You wouldn't even have to see it. I've
already been burned once.
He says, well, you could be dead.
Could be dead. But there's a reason you brought me here.
Gus, what are you doing right now?
I'm just going around the outside, just trying to stay hidden, looking for a good vantage point to see if I can see in a window or something.
The building's
maybe
a 2-story building. The outside is pretty much all just sheet metal siding. The back side's all spray painted with graffiti. Like I said, it looks kind of like the run-down building of the sector. There's a couple different overhead doors where they would be dropping off shipments. There's a couple ladders that lead up to the rooftop if you wanted to check around up there.
Okay, it's not, maybe if there's none of those creepy guys that would see me, I could take a look up there.
From down, when you're down on the ground and you look around, you don't see any up there. When you climb up the ladder and you kind of like peek over, though, you can see 2 of them every now and then just kind of like walking back on the rooftop. They seem to be keeping watch, but, you know, they don't seem like they're really in any sort of interest of it. You know, they're just kind of wandering.
Yeah, maybe
there
I'll
is
just
a few different...
keep an eye on the...
There's a
keep
few
an eye on the entrances.
Go ahead.
Entrances.
Okay, yeah, there's a few different, like, water tower type things built on top of it, and some odds and end crates. Right in the very center of the building, you can see like the big skylights, or the sky windows that would be. If you could get over there, you could look down, then you could presumably see down. But beyond that, there is a doorway, like one of those opens up onto the roof that you could go down. But you'd have to you'd have to roll stealth to get past these guys if you want to go that route.
Yeah, I think for now I'll just keep an eye on the entrances and try to kind of figure out what's going on here, because I'm too far out of my element to know what the warehouse is and what I'm dealing with. Because all these guys look the same. It's kind of freaking me out.
All right.
It's like some clone mob or something.
Yeah, every now and then they seem to be like just following a constant pattern around the building, just an even amount, just all around the outskirts. Whenever they're moving, they're not looking around at anything around them. Whenever they're just like a dead set looking straight ahead, and then they'll just stop, turn, and then walk down the other side, and then stop, turn, walk down. Very robotic-like, as if they're not really. It looks like they're not paying attention, but you get that feeling that they're probably pretty sure of what's going on around them.
Mm-hmm. But it'd be easy to time when a gap in
definitely,
their security would be. Okay.
I'd say probably easy. You want to try and head over to the skylight or the doors or anything?
Sure, I'll try to get up to the skylight.
All right. Yeah, roll stealth for me.
Okay. With Dex.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
All right, so you're able to kind of scatter between a few different crates, and you get over. You can see like the door is up ahead of you or whatever, and you don't hear any of the footsteps. When you peek up and look, you can see one of these robotic ties is like on the far side of the building, and then there's one over in the far other corner, like even distance apart. You're almost in the center. So you scurry over and you can check the handle. It's obviously unlocked or whatever. So as you open it up and you do, you're like staring right at the midsection of one of these guys. He's standing there. His back is to you at the moment, so he's not looking at you, but the door makes like a huge creaky sound as you open it up and you're staring right at his back. You can see he like pulls his hands out of his pockets. He has like looks like a little miniature lightsaber type blade in his hand, and he kind of turns around and looks at you. Downstairs, Elizabeth and Bowie. So Mr. Pitfield kind of flips through some papers. He says, we could arrange for your ship to be loaded up this evening, probably at 2100 hours. Says there will be 4 large crates. I can give you the destination. I'll leave it on your compads. What do you say?
I require some information.
What would you like?
I am looking for a man named Asim Jahir.
He kind of smiles when you mention it. He says, yeah, I know the guy.
He's gone missing.
He's like, well, missing's probably the soft term for it, but you're correct.
I have reason to believe that his altruistic ideology has got him involved in something that has put him in a situation he can't get out of.
He says, well, he's probably not going to be swimming up from the bottom of the river anytime soon. You're right about that. He says, Mr. Asim, he got into the wrong crowd, I guess you could say. He dealt with the wrong people. Was a fascinating man, a mind full of, amazing wonders. We were able to extract most of his brain before, he was put in the river. Got most of his chemical formulas, most of his drug formulas. Says they'll be put to good use, though.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, you can kind of like, if you had looked under the table, you could see my fist kind of tightening, but I don't respond.
So, out of character, Pitfield has just admitted that he killed Jahir. Well, he didn't kill him, because he'll say that.
You can assume so.
Okay. How do I take it from here?
He says, we have quite a bit of information on you too, Elizabeth. He says, I know your name. I know most of what you know, most of what Mr. Asim here taught you, where you're from. He says, you told him a lot of secrets about yourself, and we have all that in record. He says, I could make your life hell too.
I think, I'm still I think in my seat, I'm sort of still absorbing the fact that I am now I'm working with the man that killed my teacher. Well, my second teacher. The teacher I probably am very most familiar with.
So he kind of puts his hand up. He's like, I can see you're distressed. He says, if you would like to, you could speak with Asim before you leave.
What did you do? Scan his brain onto an AI, a VI?
And he smiles. He's like, that's precisely what we did. He says, Mr. Asim, he's like, I have respect for your field. He says, Bowie's brother's an amazing medical engineer. And he says, Elizabeth, you have quite a future ahead of you, assuming you survive long enough to proceed and follow that course. He says, I can respect that. He says, I'm sure that, speaking with Asim one last time would help you out. And he says, and we could make that happen. But just between, the 3 of us here, he says, what we've done is infected his body with a nanovirus. We're able to extract all of his memories, all of his thoughts, all of his knowledge, place it on a simple chip, and we have it for anything we need. We can create multiple Mr. Asims, if you wish. Every one of them, just like this man. He kind of points to the 2 robotic men behind you.
So they are robots.
He says, well, not technically. They're organic, they're human, but they run off of a chip.
Oh.
My mind just like, you would hear the hamster wheel just stop, like, what?
They're essentially, like, I turn to you because I look at, they're essentially using blank slate human slates and uploading information into the brain to overwrite. So essentially, they're organic computers. They're humans essentially modified to take in cybernetic information.
Yep.
All right. Listen, I kind of like put my hands on the table. I have a policy. Since I got fucked over, I gotta know what's in my ship if I'm gonna ship it, if I'm gonna move it. I don't need to know who specifically it's going to. I just need to know what it is, so I know how to handle it, who to avoid, that sort of stuff.
He's like, I can respect that, I suppose. He says, even if you did double cross me, I have the connections to make sure you can't. He says, well, like I said, one crate will have some of these cybernetic experimental arms, and we're going to hopefully get these to some people that can mass produce them and get our cybernetics out there. I'm going to be dealing with Koran Industries and getting these into the market. He says the other crates, well, there's a new drug sweeping the market. It's called Jekyll Hyde. He says it's a fascinating little thing. Can make people turn into an instant into like a ravaging beast. He says it's great for military. You can get these soldiers hyped up on it and send them to war, demolishing places. He says, right now, obviously, we don't want to spread in the streets. We don't want people going on rampages and killing. But if we can get to these drugs here, to the same cybernetics, we can create quite some kick-ass soldiers. He says, and they'll be filling my pockets full of money.
Yeah,
That sounds like a terrible idea for a truck.
Yeah.
He just says, like, oh my god, why would you ever distribute that?
Elizabeth is, like, shaking her head and is like, God damn it, Asim.
Listen, we can move the arms, but I don't want to deal with that drug.
He says, well, you don't really have a choice. He says, I could set you up with the cybernetics, but the drugs will be on your ship. In fact, they already are. He says,
why am I not surprised?
And he says, a simple phone
how
call.
did they get on this ship?
He says, a simple phone call and your ship will be gone too. Then you'll be stuck here.
Well, I've gotten off a planet without a ship before.
We got a boatload of money.
Shut up, Gus! I just whisper into the comm.
I'm sorry. They can't see me. I'm stealthy.
I half expect Gus to fall from the skylight wrestling with one of these guys. Like, I got him, sir. I caught him. It's like, oh god, is he dead?
All right, so Gus, what do you do? Because as soon as you open up this door, you're staring at the back midsection, basically right at this guy's ass cheeks. As you open the door, and you can see like his little plasma blades come out of his hand, out of his wrist and then into his hand, like a hidden knife. He kind of turns around. He's looking down at you. He says, "Please come with me, sir."
I'm teleporting
over the railing.
Upstairs.
Push him over the railing.
You'll have to refresh my brain on how the teleport works. Let's see.
I think I can move up to 30 meters. Uses 1 point of whatchamacallit.
Wait, are you level 1 teleportation?
Yep.
Yeah, up to 10 meters can carry up to... Wait, are we using core?
Yeah, I'm using everything from...
So
Did you guys all get the core book from Corey?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, use core.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure we're all on the same exact page. So yeah, use the core book.
It can go 10 meters, carry 5 kilos.
That was not a problem. You're not carrying 10 kilos on you. All right, what are you trying to do? You just trying to get out of this guy's range for right now and then haul an ass, or?
Yeah, where exactly am I again?
You're up on the roof. I don't have a map. Let me look. Maybe I do. I did have a map that I wanted.
Definitely want to go to the ground. As far as if there's a wall or something I could go behind, that'd be ideal.
Let me look and see if I have a map of this one. I don't think I do.
Yeah. No, I can only go places I've seen, but I scouted out the area beforehand, so
Oh my god, you're Nightcrawler.
Pretty much. At least for now.
Give me
for now.
It's cool, I guess.
What time is it? Why don't we take like a 2-minute break and I'll upload the map and then make a page for it? Because I know I have it on my computer, it's just not in.
Okay.
All right.
So take a quick break and upload that.
I'll just recover from the fact that my mentor is dead and mass produced into machine people.
And now we have to transport the zombie virus, pretty much.
It's not a zombie virus. It's all right. Your character.
More like a werewolf virus.
It's. I'll explain it to you when we get on the ship. But it's bad and very bad. But it's not that bad. If it was a zombie virus, I wouldn't let you pick it up.
Zombie virus. You got to use your imagination.
I did use my imagination. I figured out what they were doing with my mentor before they told me. I'm going to be honest. After this 2-minute break, I'm probably going to demand I get a chip of my teacher. Like, my hope? It's my hope anyway. Oh, man. When you throw punches, you don't hold back, do you, Morgan?
Of course not. What's the fun in that?
I get all attached and worried about this guy. It's like, oh, he's dead.
And
he's still around, sort of. I mean...
Oh, hey. Remember your parents?
For God's sake. My pseudo-parents dead, so I'm Batman. And, like, Bowie's about to backstab his girlfriend. Or not girlfriend, but she's totally his girlfriend.
Alright. I'm gonna go grab a drink and then we'll start right back. I'll be right back.
Oh, get me something too. I'm fond of a sonic screwdriver.
Mm-hmm.